Of course, every time I turn the camera, oh, hey, he's going to run. Number one said yesterday he had an issue with his left hip. And in the morning he was moving fine, so I think he got, pushed or whatever. The way Mama was not really wanting him to touch her and get something to eat. She might have just stepped to the side too much. He is a little gimpy on it once in a while, but right there he looks all right. Then he takes a couple funny steps. Because of it, we went ahead and gave him a little painkiller shot yesterday. Because, if it hurts and it's in the wrong place, you'll move it and it might get back where it belongs. If it hurts because it hurts, it ain't going to heal till it feels better either. Catch-22. Trust me, I know too much about pain. Pain does too many bad things to you. It also keeps you from finishing ruining something too, but so I'm glad to see him up and running around this morning. She also said his lung sounds were a little Same with that heifer in the other pen way down there in the corner. And since the heifer had something to help her lungs here a while back, but with humidity and temperatures we've had, I mean, this whole we've had nothing normal since September, realistically. Here we are in June, and woohoo! This morning 53 degrees. That's better than the 46 it was yesterday morning. But then once it warms up, the humidity's been so high because it's so wet. So both of them got an antibiotic to help their lungs. Hopefully they don't end up with pneumonia. As wet as it's been and as just plain icky as it's been, that's my biggest concern with the calves at the moment. Yeah, I said when I come in here, I got to show it off. There it is. This is most of the interior plastics. We may have to, I don't know if we got any broken actual plastic or not. What I've been able to get looking for parts is when you buy the cab kit, the gray plastic you keep. This other that's got the insulation on it is in there with those stupid little tree looking push buttons. So I'm assuming when you buy the kit you just get those pieces, which means we got to be careful with the rest of these. I mean, they're not bad. They need a definite cleaning. I see a crack in one right there, but where that is, I don't know that crack's an issue. And when they took the knobs off the console and such, put them in the bucket. And number 2 was taking this all out, and she goes, I can't help but wonder if that's not part of the cab. It's not just a random bucket they found to throw stuff in. Goes right there. And of course this piece is broken, but if we can't get another one, and I don't even know if I'll bother trying for another one, there should be room, the way most things mount. I can lay a little strip underneath there and either a couple screws or pop rivets. Fix it that way. Might even be able to clean it up enough and actually melt it back together and maybe melt in a piece of plastic underneath it for a stiffener. So I didn't realize which piece that was until right now. That is the right-hand console throttle, and one of the gear shifts go clear at the front, and then there's 4 remote levers. And if this was a power shift model, I'm pretty sure this part wouldn't be here because that's right where the power shift lever would be. So anyway, guess I wasted 5 minutes here. I still got things to do. And I see a couple of, hey, you haven't started it for us yet. I think it was Gary. Gary said I need to do an Oregon cold start. Yeah, we'll see. I do need to get, actually I got to do that today. I have been trying to get into, I need big baler twine and I need small baler twine. I have been trying to get in town to pick that up for the last month or longer. At the moment, you know where the stack for this is, and the stack for that, they're still in the back of my pickup, along with the deck plate off the back half of the tractor. Excuse me. So, they got to get out of the pickup before I can put a pallet and a half of twine in it. And yeah, I could use a service truck. A little story about using a service truck to haul a pallet of twine. The inside of the back of that service truck is like 48.5 inches or something like that. Believe it or not, a pallet of twine is over 48 inches. The big bale twine. Because it's all just the balls on the pallet and then wrapped on. And let's just say it took 10 minutes to get it wedged in the back of that truck 2 years ago. And you should have seen us getting it back out after it was half empty. It's just a little too tight of a fit. So, we don't do that. It'll go in a pickup. And while I'm in there, I know I need the cables for this, to which I have a no longer existent part number. And I know we need a headliner, and I'd like to, well, kind of need to replace the dash. So I can find all that stuff, and I find that they're all the parts have got different numbers to them now, but I can't find the new numbers. But I got friends in low places, so, and that's where I'll be to get twine. I'll deal with Terry a little bit, and hopefully he's not busy so we can sit down and pick out some parts and pieces, that kind of thing, and we'll go from there. So I'll get you some more later, I'm sure. Thanks for watching. Well, that was almost a wasted trip to town. Almost. Then I don't know what the hell they were thinking. A pallet of big bale twine is 48 balls, and for some reason they wrote down 36 on the ticket. He brought me 32. I'm like, they shrunk the pallet. Now somebody took a layer off this one, and then for some reason, God knows why, they put the wrong freaking number down on the ticket. So he ran back and got enough to fill out the ticket. It ain't worth fucking with, so excuse my French. It's been a day. Ran a few part numbers past the boys in there, and they found and didn't find. Parts manager ended up on the phone with New Holland. I'm at the Case IH dealership, by the way. Yeah, it's all under the same roof. Well, same parent company, let's put it that way. And their parts manager has been a New Holland parts manager before, so he knows a few different numbers to call and a few different places to look where sometimes you can get lucky. Yeah, he got nowhere. My hydraulic control cables are discontinued through New Holland. And he said New Holland's been getting the parts from Bueller. So, and Bueller has nothing online you can do to search parts. Pain in the ass. It better not be flying. It's not. It's looking at a piece of twine up there. They wrap twine around it, and the end of the wrap is tied to it. Anyway, he ended up calling them since you can't do anything online with them, and they said, "Oh yeah, we no longer support that part." Well, there's about 12 different models of tractors that all use that part, made up to at least 1990. And not that there's a lot of versatiles around here, but there's 5 or 6 that I know of, besides the one I have, that all use the same part. So, in fact, one of the guys with versatiles, he's just to my left over here, about half a mile. I need to stop and see him. For now, I'm not. I want to get this stuff home and get it out of the truck. Yeah, so looks like I'm going to be doing a little more looking online. I know there was a couple of web pages I saw that said they had the cables. I found a few that said they had a few other parts I need. And worst comes to worst, I get a hold of a dismantler and see, if I could cross the border and go take a week off and go screw off for a week, go up to Canada, I could come back with a pickup load. And when they say, "What do you declare?" Tractor parts. Yeah. I know that stuff's a phone call away. And even if I can find a top, even if it's not in the best of shape, if the price ain't bad, I have my ways between, melt a little plastic here and stick it back together, or a little here and a little there, and make it stay together and work. So, and same with a couple of the interior parts. I need the new plastic piece on the inside of the door. It's half of it's gone, or a quarter of it's gone. Kind of like to have it back to nice condition. And one side piece is broke, but I don't think that's going to be too big a deal to fix. I'll probably fix that and you won't even know it. So, in the meantime, I got my twine. Last thing I heard, we're supposed to be 90 degrees on Thursday, and this is Monday, and it rained all freaking night. Most of the road's still dry, but spots where you don't drive is wet. If I could switch you around on here, I would, but you know how phones work. If I touch it, it's going to be screwed up. So, I'm almost back anyway. I only got another, 3 miles, 4 miles, something like that from here. So, get this unloaded. Should check the gas gauge. Probably throw some gas in here would be a good idea before I make another trip toward town. Of course, the next trip I'm not going to the same town. This was to Hillsboro, just inside Hillsboro. The next trip's going to be to Forest Grove, so little different direction. Should have done it all at once, but I didn't want to pack this stuff the extra distance and take a chance of having one of these decide to start unspooling, because that can happen. And I've also known a couple people that did that crap on purpose, just to see how many miles it would go. Yeah, I'm sorry. If you worked for me and you did that, guess where your ass would be. And I'd be looking for a new pair of boots, because I'd have both of them there. That's kind of like jousting with combines and seeing how many freaking unloading augers you can tear off of. And kids do that too, and wonder why they don't have a job when they're done. Because there ain't no excuse for that. You hear about that stuff happening once or twice a year. You'd think they'd get the hint. That cost more than what they were paid for the year by the time they can unload the combine. Because without it, you don't unload. Oh, yeah, anyway, I'm just rambling. Probably got too much between earlier and now. So I'll just probably end it here. Even though it's not even noon today. It ain't even 11 o'clock yet. But I'll say it, hit the like, get to subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate that. And we'll see where the ride goes. See if we can find some parts. That's where I wish, I mean, my wife's pretty good at looking stuff up if I send her on it. She's the one I make order it anyway, but usually I gotta find it, or at least I gotta go review whatever she finds to make sure we're right. And some of this stuff I'm not gonna be sure we're right until it comes. That's what sucks. So anyway, thanks for watching.